Among the dusty shelves and mysterious corners of the old museum, there is one doll, surrounded by grim legends. They say her eyes watch every step of those who enter the room, and her smile hides the secrets of a sinister past. Several movies have been made about this doll, but only few know that she exists in real life and once featured in a chilling tale. There are many stories to tell about what happened in those times, and here is one of them. The story began when Donna received the doll as a gift from her mother in 1970. The doll was purchased at an ordinary knick-knack shop and was intended as a birthday present. At that time, Donna was a college student preparing to pursue a degree in medicine. At that time, the girl lived in a tiny apartment with her roommate Angie. Donna was delighted with her mother's gift and placed the doll on her bed as a decoration. At first, Donna and Angie paid no attention to the doll. It was just a trinket in their female abode. However, over time, they noticed something strange. The doll seemed to move on her own. At first, it was barely noticeable. The doll's changing position could be explained by chance or forgetfulness, but gradually her movements became more apparent. After a few weeks, it seemed like the doll was living its own life. The girls would leave the apartment, leaving the doll on Donna's bed, and upon returning, they would find her on the couch. Sometimes she would sit on the ottoman, crossing her arms and legs. Other times, she could be found at the table or in the middle of the room. Several times, Donna would lay the doll on the ottoman, only to return and find it on her bed in the locked room. The girls had a friend, Lou, who harbored a deep aversion to the doll. He claimed that something evil resided in it, but Donna and Angie dismissed his words, refusing to believe in supernatural explanations. For them, all the doll's movements had a rational explanation. However, soon the doll's actions became even more strange. It turned out that the doll not only moved around the apartment but also left notes. Over the course of a month, Donna and Angie found messages written on parchment paper, with pleas for help. The handwriting resembled the uncertain script of a young child. The most frightening thing for the friends was not the content of the notes, but the mystery of the origin of the parchment paper in the house. Where did it come from, if it had never been there? The events continued to unfold further. One night, returning home, Donna found the doll in her bed, and an inexplicable fear gripped her. Examining the doll, she noticed drops of red liquid on its hands and chest. This horrifying discovery prompted the girls to seek help from a specialist. Whether it was real blood or just red pigment oozing from the doll itself ceased to matter. The medium who conducted a session with the doll revealed a grim story to the girls. Many years ago, long before the construction of the building where they lived, there were private estates on this site. In one of them lived a little girl who, unfortunately, met her death here. Her soul couldn't leave this world, and when the doll appeared in the house, the spirit of the girl became embodied in it. She considered Donna and Angie as worthy recipients and simply wished to stay with them, hoping for safety and comfort. Kind-hearted and compassionate, the girls agreed to keep the doll in their home. But then the true nightmare began. As mentioned earlier, Lou was a close friend of Donna and Angie and often spent time with them since the doll appeared in the apartment. From the very beginning, he felt repulsed by it, claiming that it carried something sinister and ominous. He pleaded with Donna to get rid of it, but her compassionate attitude towards the doll prevented her from taking that step. Ultimately, Donna's decision proved to be a catastrophic mistake, but they realized it too late. Lou began to be haunted by nightmares, but they were incredibly vivid and mysterious. One day he woke up from one of them. Lou felt something strange. Although he opened his eyes, his body refused to move. Looking around, he noticed that the doll was slowly approaching him. Like an invisible force, she glided towards his feet, then climbed onto his chest and began to strangle him. Fear engulfed Lou, and soon he lost consciousness. When he woke up, his heart was pounding in terror, and he was certain that what had happened was not a dream. At that moment, he felt determined to rid himself of the doll and the sinister spirit it harbored. Unfortunately, it was only the beginning of his nightmare. A few days later, Lou and Angie were in the apartment, busy planning the route for their upcoming trip. Suddenly, they heard a rustle in Donna's room. Tensely, they froze, their hearts pounding faster. Who could be in the apartment? Was it an uninvited guest? There was no doubt left. Lou decisively headed to check Donna's room. Sneaking up to the door, he listened carefully to every rustle. Making a determined leap, Lou pushed the door open, allowing the light to flood the room. But inside, something strange awaited him. Besides the fact that the room seemed unchanged, he noticed that the doll was abandoned in the middle of the room, as if awaiting their return. Lou cautiously surveyed the room, but nothing unusual caught his attention, although the sense of someone's presence didn't leave him. As Donna became increasingly convinced that there was an evil force residing within the doll, she sought help from an Episcopal priest. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the Holy Father sought advice from the Warrens. Ed and Lorraine Warren are well-known American paranormal investigators whose work in demonology and occultism has drawn global attention. They became known for their involvement in investigations of various phenomena such as ghosts and demonic persecutions. Ed and Lorraine were intrigued by the case and decided to intervene. They informed Donna that the spirits of the deceased cannot inhabit objects like dolls. Only malevolent spirits, or simply put, demons, are capable of doing so. They claimed that the spirit of the girl did not actually exist, and the doll was merely used by the demon for its dark purposes, deceiving everyone with the appearance of an innocent girl. According to the Warrens, the demon targeted its victims by attacking their emotionally vulnerable sides and feeding on their energy, all while maintaining the appearance of safety in the guise of an innocent girl. Despite its seemingly peaceful demeanor, it remained a malevolent spirit, ready for manipulation and attacks. The drops of blood on the Annabelle doll and the assault on Lou were just the beginning. The Warrens warned that if the demon were given another 2 or 3 weeks in their apartment, it could lead to tragic consequences. Upon completing the investigation, the Warrens obtained official permission from the church to perform an exorcism. The priest conducted the ritual in the apartment, and with Donna's consent, the Warrens took the doll with them. They carefully placed it in a bag and began the long journey home. Ed decided to avoid major highways, fearing that the demon might attempt to seize control of the car, which at 65 miles per hour could have catastrophic consequences. And indeed, as they sped along the overgrown back roads, the engine started to sputter, the power steering failed, and the brakes went out several times. Ed, not risking to go further, opened the bag, sprinkled the doll with holy water, and the demon calmed down for a while. After several weeks of Annabelle's presence in the Warrens' home, she returned to her old antics, flickering in different corners of the room. Realizing that the power of the demon Annabelle was growing once again, the Warrens sought the help of a Catholic priest to perform an exorcism. However, the priest, not taking the situation seriously, reassured them that it was just a doll incapable of causing harm. Nevertheless, the ritual was performed. Not believing in the existence of the demon turned out to be a grave mistake. On the way home, the brakes of the priest's car unexpectedly failed, and his car was involved in a terrible accident. However, miraculously, he survived. In the end, the Warrens created a special protective case for the Annabelle doll, where it remains to this day. Now the doll cannot move, but it still harbors a sinister essence, lurking in anticipation of better times and ready for the day when it can once again break free.